So unfortunate news for MicroStrategy investors. I'm not too sure if all of you guys have seen the news when it comes down to MSTR, but once again, it shows that Michael Saylor has diluted MSTR by $735 million after saying that he wouldn't. This is not clickbait. This is not an opinion. This is fact. What exactly is going on? So Michael Saylor has diluted common shareholders of Strategy, formerly known as MicroStrategy, by $735 million just 2 weeks after he promised that he would not. On July 31st, 2025, Saylor and his executives delivered Strategy's Q2 earnings presentation, assuring shareholders that the company wouldn't dilute MSTR to buy Bitcoin between a multiple to net asset value of 1x to 2.5x, except to service interest or dividend payments, obviously something that would be in benefit of the actual investor. On August 18th, just 2 weeks after, however, Saylor revoked that guidance entirely, and the company rewrote a slide to remove the promise from its presentation. Saylor took advantage of the revision, immediately diluting MSTR shareholders. I also want to remind you that Michael Saylor's shares don't get diluted because of the class that they are versus common shareholders do. So he's okay with diluting you. He's not okay with diluting himself. Again, something to take into consideration. So why is this important? It's been said over and over again that supposedly MicroStrategy likes to call itself as the world's largest so-called Bitcoin treasury company. Because we all know that the company itself, if you look it up, let me go ahead and refresh this so you guys can see. If we look up MSTR, it's not even popping up here. If we look at MSTR, MSTR is a company that reports an actual net loss of income every single year. This year might actually be the first year that they actually report a profit, and that's because they actually realize their gains. I mean, why wouldn't they? Bitcoin is at $111,000 per coin, and I believe MicroStrategy's average purchase price as of right now is right around $73,000. That also means that if we see about a 25 to 30% drop, MicroStrategy would be in the red. And MicroStrategy, up until the most recent quarter, has literally reported a loss every single quarter. This is also Michael Saylor that in the dot-com bubble, he was one of the biggest losers because back then, he also had a very similar approach with his company. He lost $6 billion in a day. Host Texio loses a fortune of his company's stock, plunges 140 points. Because we all know the more leverage that you are at these overbought and overvalued levels, the harder you will fall when conditions don't become as favorable. Now, the part that bothers me most about MicroStrategy is a lot of you guys know that I'm not a big crypto guy. I don't care for Bitcoin. If you want to invest in Bitcoin, invest in the asset itself. I said that from the beginning. I cannot stand the people that fall for the hype of MicroStrategy. Just think about this. MicroStrategy, all they do as a company is they borrow against their investors. They dilute you with all these share offerings, even after they told you that they wouldn't. So therefore, they make your shares less valuable as they do more share offerings, which is why you have seen that MicroStrategy has not made new all-time highs since $543 per share. That was back in November 2024. But Bitcoin has made numerous all-time highs this year. So how can you call yourself a Bitcoin ETF or a Bitcoin treasury when your company itself isn't even trading at the same ratios that Bitcoin is? It literally makes no sense. That if you want to receive the exposure of what Bitcoin has to offer, why would you do it with a company that dilutes you? Makes zero sense. The only reason that MicroStrategy originally caught so much hype and so much traction was because during that time, people were too naive to the idea of what was going on. Now everyone is really beginning to see what is happening with MicroStrategy. And even recently, right? If we look at the recent drop, we can use this little range tool real quick. We can see from overall highs to the current lows, we have dropped about 26%. Almost 30% is what it's lost in value in just one of the most recent retracements. But Bitcoin as of right now is still holding above $110,000 per coin. Also taken into consideration, if we zoom out a little bit further and we go back to its previous value of $543 per share, this company and every investor that bought into the hype during that time has lost 38% of its value. Nearly half of its value wiped, gone. Anyone that's invested in MicroStrategy during that downturn has not experienced or seen new highs. They're most likely still in the red. A 38% retracement. Now, again, it's very simple. There's a lot of opportunity in the market today. Robinhood just got added to the S&P 500. Coinbase has performed exceptionally well. Those are great ways to, receive exposure to the crypto space. But there are actual crypto-based ETFs. There's Bitcoin-based ETFs where maybe if you don't want to invest in Bitcoin directly because you don't trust those platforms, there are actual Bitcoin ETFs out there that give you the genuine exposure of what Bitcoin is doing. BlackRock has a ton. I mean, there's a ton out there. But please, 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 when you look at a company like MicroStrategy, I mean, it's clear as day. Why is it so consistently selling off when Bitcoin itself is performing the best it ever has? Because MicroStrategy is a Ponzi loop. MicroStrategy can go to zero, which means all the money that you invest in it right now, it is being borrowed against at 0% interest in favor of Michael Saylor. And of course, he's going to try to convince you to invest in MicroStrategy because he can then therefore use your funds to borrow against so he can buy more Bitcoin. If you are pro Bitcoin and pro crypto, then again, why include a middleman? Why invest in MicroStrategy if you can see numbers don't lie? The potential and the ROI is not there. The one-for-one exposure is not there. It's not even a leverage way. It's a leveraged way to lose money. That's all MicroStrategy has been, at least for 2025. It has not been able to make new highs even during one of the most substantial crypto runs in history. And if now we begin to see a downturn, well, again, what do you think is going to fall the hardest? If you look at the actual numbers, MicroStrategy is a company with a market cap of $95 billion. Remember that, $95 billion. But I asked on Mumu AI, how much Bitcoin does MSTR own? And they own about 63.6% of all Bitcoin owned by public companies. Very substantial. They own at an average price of $73,000, about at cost $46.95 billion, but at current valuation $69 billion. So they have $69 billion of current value of Bitcoin, but their market cap is $95 billion. And when it comes down to actual debt, they have about $8 billion in actual debt. So you take the 69 that they own in Bitcoin, you remove the 8 billion, so they have about 61. Where does the other 30 plus billion come from? Remember, all this company does is they buy Bitcoin. That is how much more MSTR is overvalued from what it owns in Bitcoin to what it's currently valued at. The discrepancy. And remember, all this, it does nothing innovative. What this company does in diluting investors to borrow against them, to buy Bitcoin, any company can do that. Any public company can do that. So there is nothing special or unique about MicroStrategy. They just have such a terrible business that that's all they resort to. Just like you don't see Nvidia, Tesla, Apple, Amazon resorting to only buying Bitcoin. Why? Because their underlying business is actually successful. They don't need to convince you to believe that, oh, we have nothing else to resort to because our technology sucks and our business sucks, so we're just going to jump into the hype with Bitcoin. Which again, Michael Saylor did that back in 2000 during the dot-com bubble, and that's how it played out for him. Again, not an opinion, it's a fact. Understand the numbers. No one should be trying to convince you to invest in MicroStrategy. Because at the end of the day, just like no one should be convincing you to invest in Nvidia. I'm sure many people don't, right? Or Tesla or Apple. The only reason they need to convince you to do anything is because the value isn't obvious, because it needs to be convinced. This is where the Ponzi loop comes in. They want you to continue to buy to hopefully increase their price per share. So hopefully maybe they can get out, or maybe see the price action that they haven't seen in all of 2025. It's an incredibly risky company. And that doesn't mean in the short term that MicroStrategy can't recover. Remember, if conditions become more favorable for whatever the case might be, if Bitcoin begins to run, that can allow any company to thrive during high risk conditions. But even during this time right now, when some companies are making new all-time highs, MicroStrategy is still failing. And again, I like talking about the lows. I like talking about the highs. MicroStrategy just did recently pull on back. It does look oversold. So this doesn't also mean that you should be shorting this. It is approaching an oversold range, which means it could find a support and try to recover. I'm just here for investors to make you aware of the risk. Understand the difference between a trade and an investment. When you see a company of what it's telling you versus what it's doing, it's a company valued at 95 billion. It carries 69 billion in assets, Bitcoin, at these elevated levels, and it has 8 billion in debt. So the numbers just don't add up. It's not even at a 1-for-1. It's already trading at a $61 billion valuation versus a 95. You're talking about a discrepancy of around 30 to 33%. An insanely high discrepancy. So if market conditions for whatever reason do become less favorable, MicroStrategy will always be the one that crashes the hardest. And again, I'm just looking at the numbers. At the end of the day, you get to decide what you want to invest in. I just want to make sure that it's being all laid out for you. Look at the actual numbers, look at the actual data of what it owns and what it's valued at. Look at its debt and look at its recent volatility. There's a reason no one believes MicroStrategy anymore, because Michael Saylor promises one thing and then does the other. So please, it's not that you should be afraid. It's just that, MicroStrategy could be a good trade if it does begin to recover. It doesn't mean that you should invest in it long-term at these elevated levels, knowing the discrepancy between its current value and its current value and its current actual holdings. Two very different things. So again, this analysis was done on the Mumu trading application. If you're tired of your old and outdated brokerage, I do want to remind you that right now they do have a sale going on, and they offer you up to 8.1% APY and up to $1,000 in Nvidia stock if you have a qualified deposit. If you want to learn more about it, it's the first link in the description down below. It's available in the US and many, many more. So again, first link down below. Feel free to check it out. If you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. But also do not forget, again, we're going to be talking about MicroStrategy and so much more during tomorrow's live trading session. You don't want to miss it out. And that's going to be that second link in the description down below if you want to join our live trading session. I appreciate your time. I hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take care, team.